Now let's go to Bessemer. More than 100 people were rescued from their apartments after a tornado touched down in that community. Tonight, many of them still cannot go home.
CBS 42's Parrish Alderman spoke with a mother and a daughter who say even though they lost a lot, they're just happy that they found each other.
Somewhere in this mess, underneath all the trees and power poles, is Shandrika Brown's apartment. She was on the 3rd floor with her 2 daughters Monday night when a massive storm swept through Bessemer.
We got in the bathtub and I got a mattress off of their bed and covered us up. And then it started raining really, really loud, the thunder and the lightning. And then all of a sudden it just got eerily quiet.
Up until that moment, Brown was on the phone with her mother, but just before the storm hit, the phone cut out.
And I knew it was coming, and the lines just kept breaking, cutting off, breaking.
Vanessa Singleton will be the first one to tell you what she did next wasn't very safe. But when she couldn't get in touch with her daughter, she says nothing was going to stop her.
Listen, when your children are in trouble, you lose all sense. And I just didn't know what was going on, so I got in my car, which I knew I shouldn't have. And then when I got up here, everything was so tough, I was lost.
Imagine trying to find someone in the middle of all this damage, but at night.
And I couldn't find her. I couldn't find the apartment. I didn't know where I was. So I just started screaming her name. And my grandbabies heard me.
Tuesday, mother and daughter came back to the apartment together to see what was left.
It's totally destroyed my apartment.
For now, Shandrika Brown and her 2 daughters are off to stay at Grandma's house, and this grandmother is more than happy to have them all close by.
Close now.
Yeah.
Here in Bessemer, there really is just about everywhere you look, there's destruction like you just saw. We're on Memorial Drive, just a few streets over from those apartments, and every house out here pretty much has something like this. Downed trees, roof damage, massive trees in the yard. This was a powerful storm. Cleanup has just begun, but we're here with Bessemer Mayor Ken Gulley. Cleanup is underway, but there might be another weather system coming in. How were you all handling that, balancing that cleaning up and preparing for the future?
Well, Parrish, what we're doing, one is encouraging all of our citizens to stay inside. If you're in one of those affected areas, if you don't have to get out, then don't get out. What we're instructing our emergency management crews, don't just think about recovery, think about preparedness as well. So what we are doing is preparing and stuff for whatever may come later on tonight as we clean up the destruction that we've seen here in the city of Bessemer.
Now, what would you want to let people here in Bessemer know? I mean, as we were driving around, we saw a lot of closed streets, officers out. What do you want people to know tonight?
Well, we want them, as we said, to stay indoors if you don't have to get out, because there's a lot of down power lines, there's a lot of down and stuff trees, and we want them to stay safe. The most important thing with this type of devastation is that we did not have any loss of life and no injuries, no major injuries. So we don't want, as an after effect, for someone to get hurt when they don't have to. So please, if you don't have to get out, then don't. Stay indoors until we can get some of this destruction cleaned up.
All right, that's good news and good advice from the mayor here. We'll give it back to you guys in the studio.